Good morning, everybody. This is Dana Michelle. I am up early and I am coming to you live from my personal studio because I planned a do-over with my special guest, Rashad Hawkins, after our Tuesday interview because we had some technical issues and I was like, the conversation was too good. I had to bring him back. And so we are doing our Moncrief Springs Art and Activism series. And I'm so thankful for anybody that has been tuning in, showing support, showing love to my project and to the projects for my special guest. I do want to give a shout out to some of our sponsors this morning. I want to thank Black Films Matter, Trey Ford and Aaron Day for helping support the Moncrief Springs projects. I also want to thank Martinique Lewis, who is the creator of the ABC Travel Green Book. And both sponsors have supported everything from day one, and I'm so thankful. And so before we get started with Rashad, who I'm so excited to bring back, because guess what? This is my friend, y'all. The more opportunity I get to talk to him, the better for me. My day is already going good so far. So he's like the cherry on top. So I do want you to hear from our sponsors. And if you could take a look to Black Films Matter and ABC Travel, I'd appreciate it. So take a listen.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Trey Ford.
And I'm Aaron Day, and we are the co-founders of Black Films Matter. We started Black Films Matter in 2018 with what was supposed to be a small private screening for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, but it immediately exploded into something way larger than we could imagine, which was the birth of Black Films Matter.
So we took it from Black Panther to a blaxploitation series, which are those films that came about in the 70s when people of color didn't have a lot of opportunity in the industry. Then we brought the brand to Jacksonville with Queen and Slim private screening, the Photograph private screening, and most recently, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom to commemorate Chadwick Boseman's last film with a rooftop cocktail party and private screening there as well. So
we create dynamic film experiences for people of color. Whether it is a private screening or a drive-in movie, we want to bring it to a city near you.
So our end game is to be the pioneers of the rebirth of Dreamland Theater, which was destroyed almost 100 years ago in the Tulsa race riots in a place that was nicknamed Black Wall Street. And so follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. On Instagram, it's Black Films Matter, spelled exactly like that. And on Facebook, it's BLK Films Matter.
Avid Black traveler, from the moment I arrive in any destination, I want to know where the Black communities and Black-owned businesses are. And for the first time ever, there's an app for that. The ABC Travel Green Book app is the smartest way for travelers to connect with the African diaspora globally. The ABC Travel Green Book app allows you to find Black-owned businesses through filters and keyword searches. This app houses everything in one place so you can search without the hassle. Don't see a business in the app? No worries. The Recommend a Business feature is there to help us stay up to date so that everyone wins. Traveling solo but still want to connect with people and places that celebrate you? No problem. At your discretion, you can set your profile to available and meet with others in your area. Not only can you identify Black-owned businesses and set your own itinerary, you can review them too. When it comes to Black history and important landmarks, no worry, we got you. The app helps identify what the museums and media doesn't. It tells our stories. This app will revolutionize the way we travel. This app is the one we've all been waiting for. With everything at our fingertips, connect with the African diaspora today. The ABC Travel Green Book app is available now.
All right. So thank you again to our sponsors, Black Films Matter. Thank you to Martinique Lewis of ABC Travel Green Book. And guess what? If you did not download the app, do it now. You can get it on Google. You can get it on your Apple apps, wherever you get your apps on your phone or any device that you have. I love Martinique's company because when I'm traveling, which I have been lately because of summer, I just put the destination theme. If I'm looking for restaurants, if I'm looking for a nightclub, if I'm looking for a park, and you put it in the ABC Travel Green Book app, and she'll show you all the destinations that are Black owned or in Black neighborhoods. And so definitely check her out. So I don't want to delay bringing my friend on. And I keep saying he feels like a younger brother because I do have two biological younger brothers, and he just reminds me of them so much. And I love it when Rashad and I talk because he's so insightful. He's just, very thoughtful when he talks to you. It's very deliberate. And so I'm always kind of like leaning in because I'm so eager to hear what he has to say. So as I lean in, I'm going to ask y'all to lean in with me. And I'm going to introduce my friend, my brother friend, Mr. Rashad. And here he is, guys. Y'all say good morning to Rashad Hawkins. What's up, Rashad?
Hi, guys.
So this is our do-over. Thank you for like
Right.
being patient with me. We had a great conversation on Tuesday, so I want to pick up where we left off, and
Mhm.
I want to make sure that we give time and space to talk about your projects, and most importantly to me, how you're using your art as a form of activism to spread your message and to talk about the things that are most important to you.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it over. I mean,
Okay.
I was happy. I was happy to be a part of it. I mean, I know we had hiccups, but it's part of it. It's part of being an artist. You're gonna have hiccups. So
Yeah, and
if you
one
can
thing
do it over, go ahead.
you was like, it's okay, it's okay.
Right.
And so I receive what you say. Everything is going to be okay. And you have a real calming nature anyway. So the relief, I just feel really calm with you. So I want you to tell people who weren't able to um, get this on the first run. Tell them a little bit about yourself. Tell them about who you are as an artist and how you got started. I know we talked a little bit about where you went to school, and I'm always so proud to say, you know, that you're a formally trained artist, a writer. So tell people how you came up.
Well, of course, my name is Rashad Hawkins. I am a poet. I am a spoken word poet, artist. I am a filmmaker. I am a businessman. I have a clothing brand. Wait a minute, Lost Shop
Yeah, it
Mafia. Right. I do all of that, and I'm just pretty much a creative in the city of Jacksonville, soon to be the world. So that's
is.
about it.
Definitely in the world, across the world, like your message, your light definitely has a far reach. I want people to know about your experience developing as an artist. So I know that you graduated from Douglas Anderson and your concentration was creative writing.
Creative writing, and I did some theater classes, some improv classes too.
Okay.
So,
Talk about that. Tell us how that experience was being a young black man from the North Side going to the School of the Arts.
I mean, it was a culture shock, to be honest. I mean, I went to Rains for my freshman year, and that was an experience. Um, the way they are now, they were getting started on that when I was there. The way they are with their academics, they've always been top in athletics and academics, and they were just really what's the word? Really emphasizing that when I got started. And then I auditioned for Douglas Anderson. I got in and I got kicked out, but then I had to audition again. But
Now you
that's
didn't
cool.
tell me that last time what that was about. How you get kicked out of DA, but how
I
did
didn't
you get invited back?
I didn't take it serious. I didn't take it serious, to be honest. I was talented. I just didn't have the concentration I should have had because that's an opportunity I didn't really understand the opportunity until it was taken away from me, and then I had to reapply and I had to go through this probationary period. But I got past that, and then I eventually graduated.
Okay. So what's that like as far as like you talked about being a student at DA and that being a culture shock? And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, this is the Moncrief Springs Art and Activism series, and we're talking about art and how art is a tool to help preserve and protect Black neighborhoods. And when you say a culture shock coming from the North Side, and you even say you came from Rains and
Right.
transferred to Douglas Anderson, what was that culture shock like for you? What did that feel like?
I mean, it went from, you going from a school that's predominantly Black, and then you go to a school that's um, the Black population is kind of splintered, and some of my best friends, I mean, it's diverse, but some of my best friends now they aren't Black. But one of my best friends who is, I remember when I came in the door the very first day of my 10th grade year, I had on this whole jabot outfit and everything. I'm thinking I'm
Oh
lit. You
yes,
right.
that's a brand back in the day.
Right. I had my jabot outfit on with my forces, and then I go into the courtyard and I see this guy. He has on this bright Aeropostale shirt and these tight pants, and he has a Jerry curl in his hair. I'm like, what is this? Where? Right? It wasn't dry. I'll tell you that. And
Okay.
I see like this girl. She has like different color hair, but it's like one side is red, one side is purple, the other side is green, the other side is blue, and she had on like this dress, but she had on like these like the combat boots, like the knee high boots, and it's just like everybody was just very expressive. And I'm like, where am I? What is this? What is this place? You know what I mean? I just know I'm coming here to art school, but it helped me because it allowed me to express myself and unapologetically express myself.
And I'm thinking, as a teenager, you're going through this very competitive art school, like DA is serious. And you're having this culture shock, and what has been your typical Black experience from your neighborhood and from the previous school, Rains, is now different compared to other Black students and just other students in general at DA. And I'm wondering, as a teenager, you're already trying to find yourself and figure out who you are, and your identity is still being shaped. How did that impact your art? How did that influence what you were writing and how you were performing as an art student?
Well, like you said, it is competitive, and I went from well after I re-auditioned and got back in, my grades were good enough to perform in talent shows, so I was doing that. I was performing with I was in a rap group actually, believe it or not, and we were really just pushing each other because we were freestyle in the cafeteria during breakfast or lunchtime, or um, my poems. You have to like all my like work assignments. You had to be edited either by your peers or your teachers, and a lot of times my edits would come back with like a lot of red marks, which is normal, but you just try to make sure that the lesser the marks, the better. That you're actually your peers are actually recognizing your work and seeing what you're doing. So you're really just trying to work. You're really just trying to work just to be the best writer or artist you could be at that time.
So did you feel a certain kind of way, with having a peer review your work, um, expressing yourself and expressing your culture and expressing, if you're from the North Side, you a whole
Right,
different type of person. It's not
right.
like any other place. And so did you feel like you were even more emboldened to showcase who you were and what you thought, or did you feel like you had to kind of shrink to fit in? What was that
At
like?
first, at first it was like that, shrinking because it's like these people don't get me. They don't get my culture. They don't get where I'm coming from. They don't get my perspective. And I had one particular teacher, one of the first black male teachers I ever had, Adaye Moon. He's a playwright now in Atlanta.
Mm.
He would edit my work and he would always ask me, what is your intent with this? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like this, it's right there. I'm telling you what it is. Like I'm telling you how I feel. Like, no, what are you trying to say? What's your point that you're trying to get across? And it took me a while to get what he was really trying to say because I didn't know what my intent was with my work. I just knew I had these words inside of me and I had to get them out. I didn't have a structure to them. I just knew I had to express myself. If I'm
Mhm.
mad, I have to express myself. If I'm sad, I have to express myself. And now, as deep as an artist as I am now, and the years I've been doing it, my intent for what I do with all of my work is to represent the black male in a positive light. I mean, as positive as you can be. You know, I just try to speak for him or speak to him because I remember when I was in not a very good headspace, a very dark headspace. I had to figure out a way to help myself. And when I got to the point to where I could help myself, I was like, well, let me start helping other people. Because if I remember when nobody was helping me, so I just wanted to be of some help to other people, to other black males. So that's all I do with my work is to represent the young black male. Well,
Yeah.
I'm in my 30s now, so just the black male.
Yeah. But I think you could speak to every iteration of the Black male's experience from youth to manhood. And I remember when I first met you, you look younger than what you really are. I know your birthday
Right.
passed, so you have a very youthful look, but you present with a lot of wisdom, and that's what I mean by you're very deliberate when you speak. Like, you speak from a place of someone who has more years than what you really have at 30 something, 32, right?
Right.
And
I mean, I've
so,
been through stuff. I mean, not to say everybody hasn't, but I've been through stuff. I experienced stuff. You grow. You don't lose. You just have lessons. And my experiences, and then like my just observing other people. Just what to do and what not to do in certain things, or just what life period. So
mhm,
yeah,
yeah. I wonder, we're talking about Black neighborhoods and how art can be a tool to protect and preserve them. Going from DA and then coming back home. Tell people where you grew up. First of all, you got to tell them what your street was
hey,
on the north
I
side.
was on 13th. I was on 13th in Myrtle.
Okay.
I lived right across the street from Stan, from like with my grandmother, and also I stayed out in Grand Park. That's where my mother was at, and yeah, it just the neighborhood. Like I told you before on the last interview, Jacksonville is a jungle, but jungles have rainforests in them. If you actually just take the time to look at it and actually pay attention to what is around you, you'll see it's a lot of pretty beautiful things there. I mean,
Agreed.
you got the negative things like the shootings or like the drug dealing or whatever. But that's there, but it's other stuff there too. It's more than just
Absolutely.
that. You know,
There's different shades and different colors to every community. And I'm even thinking about, if you grew up off of Myrtle Avenue, you grew up in one of the most historic communities in
right,
Jacksonville. And that whole Moncrief Myrtle corridor is peppered with historic landmarks. And you're talking about 13th Street. So that's across the street from New Stanton,
right.
because old Stanton, the original Stanton, was on Ashley Street. And you can't talk about Stanton without talking about one of our Black icons, James Weldon Johnson. He was the principal there. He was field secretary for the NAACP. He wrote the Negro National Anthem with his brother, John Rosamond Johnson. And so you can't look at that school and not think about all the rich Black history that comes with it. What else am I thinking about on Myrtle? Myrtle is also Mount Ararat Baptist Church. And these are coming to mind because we are featuring them in my documentary, Moncrief Springs. But Mount Ararat Baptist Church is on Myrtle, and Martin Luther King did one of his most recognizable speeches, "What a Great Time to Be Alive" there. And
Right.
the church still stands today. It was built by Reverend Dallas Graham. And so you can't grow up on 13th. You can't grow up on Myrtle and not feel a sense of pride and not have some deep connection to your culture. So you're home, and then you go to DA, then you come back home. Did you ever feel like you carried like those stories and that pride with you to DA? Did it come out like in your school day with your friends, in your work?
I mean, to an extent, that's just the environment that we lived in, that we came home to. We just really all we really cared about was the art, because I would come home off the activity bus. So I'm not getting home until about 5, 6 o'clock, or
Mhm.
I would be taking the city bus because I wouldn't go straight home after school, excuse me. And just that's my environment. It's just where I come from. I mean, it inspires your art because it's your perspective. But we were just focused entirely on the art, just being in this environment that we can express ourselves freely and creatively.
Mhm.
That's really what it's all about. A lot of us were rehearsing for, like I said, talent shows or performances, or just really just bringing it out of each other, because like I said, I was in a rap group in high school, so we're rehearsing back and forth, or we're memorizing, or we're freestyling, or we're like beating on the tables all day, or we're writing,
Mhm.
passing rhymes all day, or aside from
Were y'all a
the
rambunctious crew? Y'all were rambunctious.
not even rambunctious. It's just we just thought we would be the best rappers to come out of Jacksonville. That was just
I
my main.
imagine
That
like
was
it's DA and it's like an episode of Glee. Like somebody's over there acting, somebody's over there singing, somebody's over there rapping. It's a performance.
actually, yeah, it would be days like that. You remember Sister Act 2, when
Yes.
they were like rapping in the basketball court? Some days it was like that, or some days you would come into the courtyard and yes, you have somebody rapping, you have somebody playing their instrument, you have somebody singing, you have somebody, they're playing Yu-Gi-Oh cards or something like that. But it's just everybody's just this one particular time in the day, everybody's just expressing themselves creatively. Everybody's just doing their art. That's their medium, So that's all it's just inspiring because it was just fun, at the time, because we're learning our art, we're learning our medium, but we're still just having fun with it.
I see. So you that's your origin story, coming up, learning how to bring your art into focus and create structure.
Right.
And you go on to graduate and you attend a very well-known HBCU. Tell us about your HBCU experience.
Right. Well, I am a graduate of Bethune Cookman University,
I'm gonna get back on
not
here.
college.
University.
Right. I gotta get it right for y'all.
Yes.
I was Bethune Cookman College when I was growing up, and then when I got to college, it became Bethune Cookman University. So that's what I'm familiar with. But yeah, it was just like more of that was another culture shock because you go from being in a school where it's everybody's diverse, but you're still in the minority, to where you're not in the minority. Like everybody here is black. Like your teachers are black for the most part. Everywhere you go is black, and that's great for you because it helps you to appreciate your culture and your people. And you see that you come from a race of beautiful people, of educators, of scientists, of athletes, not just one particular thing. All of us black is beautiful. And you see that in all shapes, sizes, and colors when you're there. And everything that public school teaches you in the 12 years that you're there, it's immediately erased when you get to that college. Well, historically black college or university. Everything you've learned is deprogrammed and you're relearning.
And so what do you feel like was and what did you study when you were at BCU?
Mass communications. My
Yeah.
emphasis was journalism, print journalism. So I can write your article real quick.
Yeah, well, you did tell me that because I said we were both in the College of Social Sciences. I majored in broadcasting when I went to UNF, and then I transferred and ultimately finished at the University of Houston and got my degree in media production because I decided I didn't want to do so much broadcast news. I wanted to get into film.
Right.
And so I majored in media production and minored in Black studies. And so
Right.
you and I came through the same discipline. So I'm
Right.
happy for that. What was like the one shift? Like what from going to DA to BCU, how did you level up? What was the biggest change for you?
I mean, really, just you're by yourself. You're in college now. You gotta grow up. You gotta figure stuff out. Like I wasn't really able to ask my parents, help me out with a few dollars. So I had to work my way through school. I was an English tutor. I was a residential assistant. Um, it was pretty much that, and I just worked my way. And then, really, as far as what my major, originally I was in broadcast journalism because I thought I wanted to be on the radio. I thought I wanted to be Martin. Right. And I took one of my I had to take
see you as that. I can see
right.
What's up?
Right. Originally that's what I wanted. And then I had to take a journalism class, like intro to journalism class. And I loved that more than I did with broadcast journalism. I just love that. I just love writing more because I just fell in love with it more,
College would do that to you because when I was a kid, I thought I wanted to be in news and I thought I wanted to be a reporter. And I realized, first of all, I'm not putting on makeup every day. I'm not even really caring about the outfits. I'm such a plain Jane. And so kind of sticking with that childhood ambition, I went and got in the broadcast program at UNF. And it was not my tribe. I was like, I don't want to do this. And this, I'm a little older than you. And so there was no social media. They were still in the broadcasting track teaching you how to write for the newspaper and write for the broadcast news. And it just was not my jam. And I said, as soon as I transferred, I said, I'm not going to get on a broadcast track. I got to find something that allowed me some creative freedom with a visual medium. And I wanted to get into film. And I
Right.
just saw myself making TV, making documentaries. I was a kid who watched National Geographic, and I loved the Discovery Channel. And I saw myself like traveling the world, and I wanted
Right.
to do those kinds of things. And I decided that film would be my pathway to do that. So college will kind of
Right. Let me backtrack. Let me
throw your
backtrack since you right. Yeah, with the especially with film. Believe it or not, I originally thought I wasn't smart enough to go to college. And I got a scholarship, partial scholarship or whatever, loan. And I said if it doesn't work
that's
out,
amazing.
right, I'm
Scholarship.
just
Come on
right,
now,
you know what I'm saying? Right.
qualifications.
I'm like, all right, if this doesn't work out, all right, we can at least say we tried, you know. Let's at least try it. If it don't work out, all right, it just doesn't work out. And it worked out. And I was just like, well, I took mass communications up as a major mainly because Spike Lee did mass comm as his major and then eventually went to NYU for his master's program. But the first major he did was mass comm. So I'm like, all right, well, um, eventually I want to write films and do films. And like Spike Lee is my favorite filmmaker. So I'm like, if he did it this way, I guess I got to do it that way too. And
Mhm.
that's how that's the main focus of me going to college is I wanted to be like Spike.
I hope that Spike Lee hears you say that one day. I'm just going to put that out of the atmosphere. And
I mean, I'm gonna catch Spike one day. Like eventually, my goal is to be like, you know,
absolutely.
like how Spike is like at the Nick games. I'm gonna be like that at Magic games.
Yes.
So right,
I see it. I see it. I'm visualizing it already. I see you there. I see you at the Magic games. I see you on the front row on the court side. Okay. I see that. I feel like it's so important. I know we're talking a lot about like your origin story, but I feel like it's so important specifically for artists, specifically for Black artists to talk about how they came up because so many of us in the Black community, we don't have a lot of models who we can have access to. Like sometimes when you grow up and you admire people like Spike Lee, they feel so far away.
right,
And my idol growing up was Oprah. And I was like, one day I would love to be like Oprah and meet Oprah, but it's so far away. It really does feel like a dream. And so that's why I'm so thankful that you agreed to do the interview because you are so in the community. Like every time I turn around and I see any kind of artist thing, you're either in the background, in the video. I saw you were with Cola, who's a podcaster, Black in the Garden, and you were in her
right,
video, Art Walk. And I'm like, see, this is what I'm talking about. We have to be among the people. And for those
right,
of you joining us, we're doing our Moncrief Springs Art and Activism series. We're talking about how art is a tool to protect and preserve Black neighborhoods. And I'm talking to writer, musician, rapper, filmmaker, Rashad Hawkins. And I was really interested in hearing from you about what your process was like, what your journey has been like, and how, as an artist, you have been able to impact your community and use your message to lift people up. So I'm really thankful and really happy about what you shared so far. Speaking about your message, you do have a film that's in development and a book that's in development. I do have a clip of the film, but I want you to introduce it and tell people a little bit about your work.
right. Well, my labor of love, Turntable. It's a film I wrote in college, my freshman year of college, and so you know how long ago that was. And we've been working on it. Me and my film partner, have been working on it for at least 3 years. The filming is done. We just gotta pay our cameraman for our footage and all of that, and just do the pre-production stuff. And that's pretty much done. We just gotta pay him now. And it's a love story. It's a Jacksonville love story. We shot this film pretty much everywhere in Jacksonville, from every side of town, like Northside, the Phoenix Arts District, where the murals are at, the beaches, Dunn Avenue, Sherwood,
Okay,
Southside
that's
Boulevard, everywhere. Yeah, like it's
the north side, the west side.
right. The Of course, the Acosta Bridge. Like Jacksonville is a additional character in this film, and yeah, but like I said, it's a Jacksonville love story. We have a lot of films that come out of Jacksonville, and no disrespect to them, but it's just like they're like drug dealing films. Somebody's dying. And this is not, it's none of that. Like, it's a love story. I mean, nobody's dying. I mean, it might be a little, but that's about it. Like, it's not about any of that. It's other sides of Jacksonville too.
That's crazy. I think that, having a male perspective on love is really interesting because I'm reading this book by Bell Hooks right now called All About Love. And she talks about how most of the theories about what love is and what it means to be in love comes from men. But she underscores that it's mostly white men, and so that there needs to be more people of color who contribute to the conversation about what love means. And so I'm so fascinated with you as a Black man, a young Black man, being so open and I'll also say vulnerable to talk about love, because you shared this with me, and I'm gonna say it here, that it is a little bit of your own personal experience
Of
as part
course,
of this love story turntable.
of
Talk about that. How
course.
did you get to the place where you would put it on screen and kind of talk about the topic of love from your own personal experience?
It's more of what I said before, where it's just like I have words inside of me that had to be let out. This particular person I was dealing with, she just, I was in love with her. She was like my first love for real. Like, I fell in love with her the moment I heard her voice. But we just didn't work out, and I was just really hurt by that. And I was telling my college roommate, who was actually a big part of the movie, like, I named my character after him, and he was just telling me about certain stories with him and his particular person, or like just listening to some of my friends and what they were going through and what they dealt with, and just I just put all that together with my stuff and just a few like inspirations from a few films, and I just put that together. And oh yeah, shout out to Rashid. He was my college roommate. That's the main character's name in my movie. And also what you said before with examples, you just need an example of something. I always wanted to do clothes. I just didn't have an example of how to do it, but he was doing it. He's still doing it now. And once I saw like just an example of him doing his stuff, I had an example to do mine. So that's where the idea of Lost Tribe Mafia sprouted from, because I saw somebody else that I could touch doing it. And also with my teacher, Mr. Moon, I always knew I wanted to write, and I didn't know any Black male writers that I could reach out and touch, I could call,
Yeah,
except him.
yeah,
And that's where you have me at. That's where I'm at now, because I had an example. All you need is an example, like you said before, as opposed to just your fans or somebody you're a fan of that you can't touch, you can't call, you can't reach out to, but somebody that you can actually touch and call, or just ask them a question. All you need is an example. If they can do it, you can do it.
yeah. Those offline conversations are priceless, and being able to, have somebody that you can confide in that's doing what you want to do, going where you want to go, and who has charted the path. um, it makes you go along your journey more confidently. You may not
Right.
do it their exact same way, and you may not arrive at the exact same destination, but you can go confidently knowing that it's already been done, and knowing that there's somebody who can kind of guide you and cheer you on. And I totally see you being one of those people for other artists. Even for myself, I see you do it. So I'm like,
Right.
look at Rashad, go out there, go out there. So I do
Like
want
I
to
said before. Go ahead.
show.
No, like I said before, it's just like you just got to do the work. You know, I'm
That's
honored.
something you did say that quite a bit. You say that you have to do the work, and that I feel like that's what lights your fire, and that fire is warm and it attracts people. And so when the work is being done, it will resonate with people. And for however unique you can be, that's your authenticity. And the people that's looking for that one thing, that light draws them to you.
Right. It's just all about your intention. You know, when I did my first book, I know we got to do the trailer, but when I did my first book, I just wanted to do a book. You know what I mean? I was just like, all right, I got poems from college, and then when I graduated, and I know my stuff is gas. So you know what I mean? If I think it's gas, I believe the whole world is gonna like it. And then I didn't get recognized for it. And then when I started performing my material more, and when I started actually writing with an intention of just I want y'all to read my stuff because it's dope. No, I want you to see that I'm representing the young black male with my work. And I got more recognition for it. I got actually awards for it. I actually got invited to writers festivals. But it's just really about that. Like, what's your intention with this stuff? What are you putting out in the world? Like, what is your intention when you put this out into the world? When you want people to consume this art, what is it about? Are you just wanting it for a money grab? You just want to be seen? No, what is this about? What are you trying to do? You know what I mean? And that's all what I'm trying to do is just represent the black male with my work. And just you got to do the work. You got to be out. You got to perform. You got to express yourself. You just can't. All right, here it is. All right, check it out.
Yeah.
It's not about the money. It's not really about money when I perform or when I do my work. It's because the money's gonna come. It's not about that. It's just about you expressing yourself correctly and everybody feeling what you're saying as opposed to just hearing what you're saying.
The message.
Yeah, just the message. What are you hearing? What are you feeling when you hear this work? As opposed to like, all right, yeah, that's cool, bro. All right, keep doing your thing. No, what are you feeling with that? Like, or it's like I love when people say like, bro, like nobody could express that the way you can, how I feel, because that's exactly how I feel with certain things. Or you saying what I can't say, I can't articulate. That makes me feel like I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As an artist, that's all I ever wanted to do is just represent the young black male. When I figured that out, when I figured out that was my intention, that's all I want to do.
It's
So
like
and that's
you gotta spread your message. I say this all the time that artists are the prophets. They tell us about the past, they tell us about the present, and they tell us how to plan for the future. And I think that through your music, and I've heard some of your poems too. I've been doing research on your page and stuff. It's so powerful for people who are looking for something that would help them go carry on, whether it's carrying on in a relationship, carrying on in their career, they just want to make it to the next day and they need somebody to just give them that message or that sign that they can. Right. And I believe that artists are the ones who are able to deliver that message best, to keep people inspired, to keep people motivated. And art is a universal language. So whether you're a musician, a dancer, a painter, a filmmaker, it's an art form out there that anybody can relate to, and it's that universal language that everybody understands. So as we're talking about your art, I want you to introduce Turntable so that the people can see the trailer. Tell them what's it about.
Well, it is about a DJ, a Florida DJ, who is kind of going through it after his girlfriend breaks up with him. He's kind of hallucinating. He's just really going through it so much so, and it's like I like to incorporate magical realism with my stuff. He's going through it so much, like he's crying, but he's crying so much he's actually flooding up his house. So it's wild, it's just that's the way I think about certain things, or how I use my imagination. But it's dope. It's like I said, it's a labor of love. I put a lot of work into this. I went through so much just to get to this point. The fact that I'm even able to show you the trailer is just a lot. And I'm trying to have it out by not the end of the month, the beginning of August.
Okay.
On streaming platforms.
This is Rashad Hawkins, Turntable. Take a look.
At home at the moment. Can you just meet me up at the restaurant later?
I love you.
You too, babe. Why are you playing when you know I'm on the phone?
Why you ain't just break up when you was on the phone? So what's so important we had to come to the cookbook and talk?
I met somebody else.
What?
Yo, bro, this sound like some Kanye West, 808s and Heartbreaks type.
That's a good ass way to put how I'm feeling right now.
You sure you good, man? Something off. Something in your eyes. Something about your energy. You feng shui. So damn, what did TV do to you?
Neighbors been complaining about you. They say you been playing loud music. They say you been crying in 1 second. What's going on with you, Rashid?
Yo, pick up the phone, man.
You miss it, don't you? I know.
Appreciate it, bro. Hey, bro, you got a condom?
I got him.
You okay though? You look like you've been crying.
Crying?
Man, I don't even know about all this blind dating. Anyways,
Rashid?
Gina, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad to have you back on them turntables.
It's good to be back, bro, for real, man.
You got you a new flat screen. Plasma?
yeah, now I can watch all the games in HD now and then.
I'm gonna have to start coming over here more often.
Tell her I said thank you. Cause she put the club back on the map, but and you too.
Gina.
Just let it go.
Baby.
Just let it go.
Gina. What the?
You just called me Terry twice.
No, I didn't. I called you by your name. I called you Terry.
Just call me Terry again.
Yeah, Terry, we really had something.
Obviously, whatever that was, it don't mean to Terry.
She gonna leave your ass, but why? She gonna leave your ass.
Hi, it's Terry. I'm not able to come to the phone right now, but leave me a message and I might get back with you. At the tone, please record.
That is turntable. Hey!
So what you think?
Oh man, I see you. I see you.
Thank you.
That is amazing. I want everybody here to make sure that you follow Rashad online. Rashad is on a Rampage 3, Lost Tribe Mafia. You can find him on Facebook and Instagram. And I want y'all to support his work. As the trailer was playing, and those of y'all that are joining us, this is the Moncrief Springs Art and Activism series, and we're talking about how art can help protect and preserve Black neighborhoods. And as the trailer was playing for Turntable, something in my spirit just kept bubbling up. How do we preserve neighborhoods through art? And the answer came, you preserve the people. And you preserve the people by giving them safety and giving them the things that they need. And I think this platform is just my little piece of the world. I'm so glad that I could share it with you and you could share your platform with me, because we are the people in the community and what we need is each other. And I think that when we talk about neighborhood preservation and advocating for our community, Black neighborhoods in Jacksonville, that we have to show people the value. And the value is in people like you and I. The value is in the experiences that we have. The value is in the businesses and the places where we live, work, and play on the North Side. And so to know that, this amazing work, this very dope film, Turntable, is the work of a North Side brother like you, I'm like, come on, Jacksonville, open your eyes and see what we have to offer. And I'm just so excited about how far you're going to take this. And I'm always now cheering for you. I want you to run hard. I want you to run strong. And I don't want you to give up on whatever the next thing is. And as I'm thinking about the next thing, Turntable is coming out soon. You said it'll be in the next month or so. Tell people about your book, because I know that you're working on another book, but you already have some that have been published. Talk about that.
Right. Well, I am a self-published author, of course. I have 3 books.
Yes, this is just 2 of them. Those
are
your
2 books.
2.
Right.
Talk about these 2 and then tell them about the new one.
All 3 are available on Amazon. These 2 books, well, these are ones where I have most of my recognition from. The second book, Pendulum, is pretty much where I felt like I had a spiritual awakening in the process of making it, because all my stuff is a continuation of each other. And the first half of the book is pretty much the same as the first book, where it's just kind of like deep, dark, melancholy. And then on the second half of the book, it's like a shift in my emotions. Like I'm just trying to get out of this dark place that I'm in. Like I'm more, like I said, a spiritual awakening. Like I started, like talking to my ancestors, like more meditation, like more like psychic development, more, talking to God more and trying to like just get out of like this, like I said, like this dark place that I was in, because I was in that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And
when did you write these? Pendulum and Making Noise?
Pendulum, I wrote that, I want to say from 2017 to 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And I was inspired by Tupac at the time because this was around the time like I just had turned 25, and growing up that's my hero. And I'm just like, yo, 25 is, you think when you're young, 25 is an old age, and then when you like get up in age, like get up in your 20s, you like 25 is nothing. Like I haven't even done anything yet. I haven't even lived yet. And it's just like, all right, well, um and it makes you think about your mortality a little bit more. It makes you think about your life more. It makes you think about um, what are you doing with your life, or what are you trying to do, as opposed to you're in your 20s, you got time. No, bro, you don't have time. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Are you more self-destructive, or are you more self-productive? And that's where I would just try to be more self-productive.
I like
And then
that. More
right,
self-productive or self-destructive. And as an
yeah,
artist, we go through that. Oh my God.
right,
You be like hating yourself, and you can be real destructive. I think that's a part of like our creative evolution. You
right,
destroy and you rebuild, you destroy and you rebuild. And I'm talking about self, and that kind of
right,
like spills over into your work.
right.
Um, so the third book that's coming out, tell us about that one.
The fourth book. Yeah. I
Fourth,
mean, the
okay.
fourth book, right? I mean, the third book is pretty much a continuation of Pendulum, where it's like I'm just in a different headspace. And then this book, the fourth book, Conversation, um, I'm a lot more vulnerable on it than I am on my last three books. I mean, I'm real anxious to see how the reaction is going to be. I took a break from writing when the pandemic happened. I had no inspiration, and then towards the end of it, going into 2021, I started writing more, and then life just was life, and like stuff just kept happening, and that was a part of writing. It just got me back to like where writing actually saved my life. Actually, was like it kept me going on, as opposed to just it's a hobby now because I'm doing so much other things. Like it got back into like if I don't have this, I don't know where I'd be at, what I'd be doing, you know. And like I said, I'm real anxious about what the reaction is going to be, because first of all, I'm giving everybody 4 years worth of stuff. I'm giving people 100 poems, like from the end of 2020 to last April, you
Yeah.
know. So 100 poems worth of stuff. Like I'm telling you, like I'm going through stuff for real. Like
And I
this
really
is
want to encourage people to support this, because when you're an artist, you don't clock in and clock out.
right,
And you don't start a work and finish a work. And as you're describing your process with these four books, you keep saying it's a continuation. And that's how it is. Like the artist never stops creating, the artist never stops thinking about the next thing they're going to create. So you could be
right,
making something right now and
right,
thinking about the next thing that's going to come, and maybe even doing an assessment of what you already finished. So I'm encouraging people to support the books, the film, and even some of your live performances. I know you got a performance coming up soon. I'm gonna have you tell them about that. But it's because artists are, I think for me, I always say this: we just want people to see our work, because that's our nature, that we are very generous people. And so we're creating so we can give. We're creating so we can give. And so if you are listening right now, I'd love for y'all to support. You can go on Amazon and find both books, Pendulum and Making Noise. And I thought it was a funny little joke, but if you are anti-Amazon, you can meet the artist. He can deliver.
believe it or not, some people just don't fool with Amazon like the way you would think, for it to be just such a billion-dollar industry and it's just everywhere. Some people just don't do that. They just don't
To see how people
support
are
the right. They don't support the
not
capitalistic
capitalism
aspect
of
of
it.
it.
Yeah, but you can put the money right in his hand. You can find the artist, just hit him up. So
Right.
I do want y'all to support him. As we get ready to wrap up, tell people what you're doing next. I do know you have some performances on the calendar. Tell people where they can find you and what you got coming up.
Right. Well, on my Instagram, you can find me on Rashad is on the Rampage 3. All of that's together. If you're on Twitter, Henny_Hawkins. I'm also a co-host at the open mic at Rain Dogs every Monday at 8, the What's in the Verse open mic show. We're doing it every Monday at 8. So if you miss a Monday, it's always next week. You never know who's going to show up and perform. You never know what type of theme we'll have for that month or that day or that week. And you can follow that on Instagram for what's in a underscore verse. And yeah, man, check us out. If I'm not doing the music, I'm hosting. And yeah, I run the page, the social media page now. And yeah, just check us out. Check me out.
I do have to tell this story because I like to tell this story. You know, you and I met on another podcast, and so
Right?
this is very special to me for us to be connecting on my podcast
Right.
because of how we came together. And I want to give a shout out to Toya. Toya, we love you. We sending you prayers. I know you're going through your recovery right now, but
And
she's
support Wake Up Duval
Wake Up
County.
Duval County. She's a local Black female producer, photographer. She's a creative and a businesswoman, entrepreneur, all those things. And that's where you and I first met. And it was such a strong attraction because we instantly just kind of like saw each other's light and we're hearing about each other's projects. And I told you about Moncrief Springs and you had an immediate reaction. Your body just shifted and you was like, what? You doing what? And I started telling you about the documentary. And I want to remind people that, you know, these conversations that we're having through the Moncrief Springs Art and Activism series, we have a total of 8. So we've done 2, we have 6 more coming up. And it's really to raise awareness about Moncrief Springs, which is a historic Black community that runs along the Moncrief-Myrtle Avenue corridor. And a lot of people have not really recognized it for the significance that it truly holds. Lots of our most prominent Black business people, community leaders, political figures came out of the Moncrief Springs area, Jerkyville area, Moncrief Road and Myrtle Avenue, the old neighborhood as I refer to it. And so my documentary is to shine a light about all the things I love about the Northside and to really amplify and advocate for Black neighborhoods in Jacksonville. Because when you invest in our Black neighborhoods, when you invest on the North Side, you invest in the city. And while a lot of people have a negative perception about the way we live life on the North Side and what this neighborhood is like, every neighborhood has a variety of shades, shadows, lights. But the North Side is a beautiful place to raise a family. I live on the North Side. Rashad lives on the North Side. There's amazing places to eat, parks, the Reebok River, the Trout River, Holly's Barbecue, Durkeeville and Company, all these amazing restaurants, and you can definitely have a good time and enjoy yourself on the North Side. So I really thank those of you that are
Tell
listening.
them about the kayaking port.
Tell them about the kayaking.
Tell them about the kayaking port.
You can kayak on the Reebok River. There's kayaking docks. There's boating docks along the Trout, along the Reebok. And when we were working on Moncrief Springs, Rashad was on the crew, and it was just amazing how all of us kind of was able to witness the experience of one of our key characters, Marty, who's a Black travel influencer and Black travel advocate, a Black woman with her locks and her long nails and her beautiful melanated skin out there on a kayak on the Reebok River. And so we do have content with the kayaking in the documentary, so you get a chance to see that. And I think ultimately, I just wanted to say thank you to Rashad for supporting me, being a part of my crew, being my production assistant, even consulting with me on the writing. There were some offline conversations where, you know, you and I talked and I asked you, does this make sense? How can I lean in or how can I pull back on these particular topics? So I really appreciate you for that.
I appreciate you having me. Like I said before, like I just love film, and anytime I could be a part of a film project, I will be. Being a production assistant, that didn't matter to me. I just wanted to be a part of this project, and because you let me know stuff I didn't know about. I didn't know Mount Arad was even still open. I thought my entire life that this place was abandoned. Only the kids that standing would park at the in the church. So to actually go in there, I'm like, okay. Or actually just we're filming in my neighborhood where I grew up at, where I would walk to the store, I would walk to Cozy Corner to get my peanuts or whatever growing up. and it's just surreal to me. Like we're actually doing this in my neighborhood. Like I grew up here, and it's like stuff that I didn't even know about, and I drove past it or walked past it my entire life, and I didn't know that his
That's
significance
what it's
about
here
it.
for.
Right.
It's to
I
renew
didn't know that. I didn't know any of that.
is to renew a sense of pride. And I think that if we can reassess the value of our neighborhoods, and if we can have a sense of pride and dignity for our neighborhoods, then other people will buy in as well. And we don't want them to just buy in so they could take it over. We want them to ally with us so that our neighborhoods can grow and be even more vibrant, so that those of us who live there can thrive.
All
And
right,
so
stop erasing it. Stop erasing the history that comes with this neighborhood. Stop erasing it. Like just like it, and stop gentrification as quick and fast as you can. Like it's just, I'll go on a tangent, but we not gonna do that.
But I'll add on to it though. The gentrification can stop if we buy up the block. We got to buy the property. We got to take care of the property. We got to have good business sense so that the neighborhood can grow. And even with how we are as homeowners, we got to take care of our homes, and we got to, stay in our homes. A lot of times, maybe one generation behind me and my generation to come up was, oh, I'm gonna move across the bridge. I'm gonna go live on the south side. I'm gonna buy a house out, wherever that's not the north side. And we can't do that. We gotta buy up the block. We gotta buy up the property on the north side. And I'm telling you, the homes that are in Grand Park, in Sherwood, on Rebought Scenic, they look just like the homes in Ortega. They were made in the same era. And unfortunately, they get the homes in Ortega and these other places across the bridge get appraised at a higher value than the neighborhoods on the north side. And I'm actually going to be talking to a realtor very soon to get some insight for the documentary about property value and redlining and how that impacts Black neighborhoods. So stay tuned for more. Did you have anything else you wanted to share? Did you tell people where your next show is at and where they can find you?
Well, yeah, I did. I mean, well, like I said, I've had What's in the Verse open mic night every Monday at 8 o'clock. If I
Okay,
am not
next Monday, 8 o'clock. We're gonna be in the
Next
seat.
Monday, 8 o'clock. If I am not hosting, I am doing the music. So either way, it's a vibe. You're gonna love it. We're not your average open mic. Um, my co-host, Reign Supreme, is dope. One of the dopest artists, dopest poets here in the city, and he's usually doing his thing. You got some of the dopest artists to come out in this city to perform, and you never know who's gonna perform. We have legends coming out like every other night. Like Nightcrawler might come out, Moses West might come out. It's like that, and it's like we had to really grow it. It was originally we had to beg people to come into our open mic, and now it's like half the time it's like standing room only, and
All
so
right.
that's good. And we don't charge you to come in or perform. Like we might ask for a donation, but that's about it. And it's just
Support,
we
support,
right,
support.
support Dana, y'all. Please support Dana. Like this, like she's really doing a lot of stuff. She's an artist. This film is real. I can't wait for it to come out. Not just because I was a part of it. No, it's something that's really needed that everybody needs to see. Everybody, especially on the north side, needs to see.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you for your time this morning. I think that this do-over was very good. And so
all right.
thank you. Thank you so much. I also want to thank our sponsors. Black Films Matter. Listen, I appreciate them so much. Whenever I need tech support, whenever I need a promo, whenever I need some social media support, Trey Ford, Aaron Day, they are just a phone call away, and you can connect with them on social media as well at Black Films Matter. I also want to thank Martinique Lewis with ABC Travel. She's the star of Moncrief Springs, and so you can check her out on social media. She's Marty San Diego on Instagram, and you can check out the ABC Travel Green Book online and on social. And so I want to again just thank all of you for listening. I appreciate y'all coming back on this early morning for the do-over, and you can see our next special guest next Tuesday, and we'll be making a post to reveal who that next guest is. So make sure that you're following Moncrief Springs, the movie, on Facebook, and you can follow me, Dana Michelle Mall, on Facebook, and Dana Michelle _904 on Instagram, so that you can stay in touch with me and you can see how Moncrief Springs documentary is progressing. I'll see y'all next Tuesday, and I thank you all for your love and support. Have a great day.